Hi guys, and welcome to Dee's Media World. Today we'll be talking about the last episode in this week's Stephen Bomb, log date 7152. So not really anything happened in this episode except one possible awesome thing that probably will happen, and I actually talked about in the last episode a little bit, which is Peridot fusing. I mentioned that maybe to defeat Yellow Diamond, or maybe just in the big battle, Peridot could fuse with all the crystal gems and they would become like some type of massive gem. But instead of that actually being discussed, it was actually between Garnet and Peridot. And even though it didn't happen this episode, it would be pretty awesome if when it does. And I'm not doubting that it will, because the show doesn't just throw stuff like that and doesn't, deliver on it later. I know they're going to fuse probably later on in the season, and I'm really excited about the possibilities of that. But besides that discussion, nothing really happened this episode. I mean, if Peridot's your favorite character, you probably loved it because it had a lot of silly, funny Peridot, moments, mannerisms, her trying to understand Earth life and random pop culture kind of stuff, trying on shorts, being silly. Like she pushed Greg off the roof, which was funny. But just really, this episode could be just defined as random Peridot moments, because that's kind of what it was. And I don't know if I like the placement of this episode. Maybe if it was during the last airing last year, it would probably be a little more important. But I mean, it's an okay way to end the Stephen Bomb. It I mean, I don't really have much to say about it. It's not a bad episode by any means, but I guess underwhelming is the term. It's kind of like a breather episode, but I don't know. I think we still need more things to happen for me to want to see this kind of episode, especially when we don't know when the next episode's going to come out. There were some cute throwaway jokes in there. Peridot, like most fans, since Peridot's a crystal gem now, they're wondering if she's going to wear a star on her chest or wear a star somewhere. And I was like, oh, okay, we'll see about that. If I heard there might be a new intro with Peridot in it, but that's speculation, so we'll see about that as well. I thought it was funny that Peridot thinks Garnet's the worst, and also this episode actually is just, what I expected eventually to happen. There was a Peridot Pearl episode, there was a Peridot Amethyst episode, so it makes sense that there's a Peridot Garnet episode. I kind of liked how Garnet kind of just pop in on Peridot every once in a while, kind of just observing and kind of just watching and being kind of laid back in her own way, and Peridot kind of being gravitated towards her, and them having a conversation about fusion, which is kind of cool because Peridot just doesn't understand fusion, or she doesn't understand why Garnet is always fused. And obviously that's something I guess they're going to bring up again later, but it sounds like Peridot's at least going to fuse with Garnet, which shall be an interesting, very interesting fusion. I can't believe they teased that though and didn't show us. That kind of sucked, but I guess that is just like they said for later. You have to be patient. Um, Anything else that's really worth mentioning? Garnet uses future vision when she says to Steven that, Peridot was going to want her microphone tape recorder back. And I keep forgetting that she has future vision because it always seems to come up when it's inconvenient. It never comes up. Like, she didn't have future vision when it came to Yellow Diamond. I'll say that. But really, this episode was probably the least important out of the whole Stephen Bomb. In terms of this week's Stephen Bomb, though, this was a really fun, good, story-driven Stephen Bomb. There was a lot of things we learned about mostly gem hierarchy, about gem culture, and is definitely putting in the stones in place for what's going to happen in the future with Yellow Diamond, possibly with Peridot. We do learn about Garnet's backstory, which is good. We learn about I liked going to the moon and learning a little bit about what Yellow Diamond's plan is. That's great. We're getting some answers to some questions that fans have been wondering for quite a while. So I think this was a better Stephen Bomb than the last one that came out in July. But any case, Log Date 7152 was a cute episode. If you're not a Peridot fan, I think you would hate it for the most part because it's so Peridot-like. It's so like her kind of jokes, her kind of humor. But I think most fans love Peridot, so they probably loved it. I thought it was just an okay episode. A little forgettable, but just okay. I have no idea when the next episode's coming out or what it'll be about. So until then, guys, I guess I'll see you then. Bye.